Okay, 2013 B6. Find the equation of the graph shown. So, if you remember, how do we get the A? It was max minus min divided by 2, wasn't it? So what's the max here in this graph? Can you see? 6 minus 2 over 2, 4. 6 plus 2 is 8 over 2 is 4. How do I get the D here? Does anyone remember?
Highest minus A.
Very good. It's the highest minus A. What's the highest here?
6.
And what's the A? 4. So total is 2. So I have my A and my D. What should I get next?
B.
I should get the B next, but just be careful, okay? My B is a little bit different to their B, so I'll use different letters. I'll write A cos B x plus C plus D. Do you see what I did there? I took out the B. So just so you're clear, my A will match up with this A, and my D will match up with this D, but the difference might be with the B and the C, because this is the standard way to write it, and they did not write in the standard way, which is fine. That's normal for these questions. So it just means when I get my B and C, I'll have to do one small extra step to match it up with theirs. So don't worry about that just yet. So you can forget about that in the question and just pretend they were asking you to do this type of question, okay? So you can forget about the function in the question and just pretend it was this type of question. So how do we get the B? There was a formula for it. It is 2 pi, if they're in radians, which they are, but it's really hard to see, divided by the length. Now, if I'm looking at this, if you look at the graph here, it goes from minus pi to pi on the left and the right. Can you see that in the graph?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, how many cycles are in between? Let's see. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So between minus pi and pi, there are 3 cycles. So that means the length will be 2 pi divided by 3.
Can we leave it in this form?
You can, yes. So here it is 2 pi divided by 3. So in fact, 3 is the B.
How do you get 2 pi?
The formula for B is always 2 pi divided by the length of one cycle.
The 2 pi over.
Oh yeah, well I'm going from minus pi to pi on my graph.
So minus pi to 0 is 1 pi.
Yes?
From 0 to pi.
Yes. Okay. Now that I have my B, I can go ahead and find my C. So I have currently y equals A cos B x plus C plus D, which is 2, wasn't it? Yeah. Now, look at the graph. What would be the easiest point to use to get the C? What do you think would be the easiest point to read there? Pi 6? I think we can do a bit better than that. I think we can go with 0 minus 2. Yeah. So I can put that in now to get the C. Minus 2 equals 4 cos 3c plus 2 because the x is gone now. Alright. Minus 2 is minus 4 divided by 4 cos inverse that divided by 3. 60 degrees or in radians. So when you solve this equation, you'll get C is pi over 3. So we can put that back in. Y equals 4 cos 3 bracket x plus pi over 3 bracket plus 2. Now, we need to match it up with what they have in the question. So, in the question, I should expand 3x plus pi plus 2 because they want it in the form of y equals a cos bx plus c plus d. So we have the answers now very clearly. A equals 4, b equals 3, c equals pi, d equals 2. Okay. Can I go down to the next part? Just a sec, okay.
Next one.
It's okay now? Yeah. Can I scroll down, guys? Yeah. Okay. So, B part 1. Oops. We want to describe each of the transformations. So 3 sine theta plus 1. What does that do? What does the 3 do?
It goes by amplitude of 3.
Yeah, expand vertically by 3 units. And then what does the plus 1 do here? Huh?
It goes by 1 unit.
Left or right? Yeah, and then I'll just write move. Move right. Sorry, move left 1 unit. Okay. Second one, we have 3 sine theta minus 1.
Can I say move left by 1 unit for every cycle?
Nah, don't complicate things. Just move left 1 unit. Alright, what does this one do? Well, again, expand vertically by 3 units. Move right 1 unit. And then lastly, no, move down 5 units. Sorry, again with the right.
That's right.
No,
Oh, it is actually.
It was correct. It was right.
Yeah, because the minus 1, it is to the right now. And the previous one was plus 1, so it's to the left. And then part 3. 1/3 sine 1/2 theta. So contract or compress, we should say,
And we say expanded by 1.
or expand by a factor of 1/3. Yeah, I'll accept that as well. Compress 3 units in the y or in the vertical. And then what does the half do in front of the theta? Which expands or contracts?
Contrast.
Expands.
By 2.
Expand 2 units in the x.
So in which case does it compress?
If it was 2 theta. In fact, the b compresses it, and because it's a fraction, it does the opposite, expands it. That's an x at the end. Yeah, of all the problems you could have. Okay. The last part now is to draw a graph. Yeah, we'll have a look at it now. I think the minus might complicate things slightly, but not too much. Okay, so we have, we should draw our table. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the table for 3 sine 2 theta, and I'll ignore the minus until the end. So we have start, end, min, max. Okay, so normally sine would start at 0, go to 2 pi, min is -1, max is 1. What does the tree here do? Expands vertically, so -3 to 3. And then what does the 2 do? Contracts, 0 to pi, -3 to 3. Now I'll put in the minus, but the minus doesn't change this graph. What does the minus do? Flips it, which I'll take care of in a moment. Okay, can I go down to my graph? Now make sure you read, the question says from -pi to pi. So what I'll do in my graph is exactly that. There's the x-axis. There's the y-axis. There is pi over 2, minus pi over 2, -1, -2, -3, 1, 2, 3. So I put my box in. My box goes from 0 to pi, so I'll just put it in dotted blue, 0 to pi, and then from -3 to 3, -3 to 3, and then don't forget we have to split our box into 4. Yeah, 4 quadrants. Sine, does it start at the top, the middle, or the bottom? The middle. And it would normally go up, down, and back up. But don't forget, because of the minus, what happens? It flips upside down. So instead of being like this, it's upside down. So that's the graph there. And it repeats on this side as well. Trying my best. Hang on. I need to move this one, so it needs to finish here, starts here, and then hits again here. Okay. Up, down, up. Okay, now I'll double check that in my program here. Can I open up the program now? Yeah. So just before I graph this one, I just want to graph the one I found at the start. So can you just tell me, please, the A, B, C, and D I found at the end, the answer? Y equals, what was A? 4 cos 3x plus pi plus 2. Okay. Right, let's graph that. That does match up with that graph in the diagram. You can see that there, it's exactly the same. So now let me graph what they just asked me to draw, and I see if I got the same thing. So I'll close that. Okay. So we have now y equals -3 sine 2x. So mine went down and up to the right, and then up and down to the left. So down and up to the right, and then up and down to the left. And just make sure here, down, up, and back down at around, this is pi, because it's about 3.14 there. and then up, down and back up at minus 3.14. Up, down, back up at minus 3.14. And that number 6 there was a really good question for a section B question, because it's just everything was about the graph. And I thought number 5 was okay as well. I know I screwed up with 22 at the start, but if I was more focused, it would have been fine as well. And then what about your opinions on number 3? The one I did at the start. Easy or difficult? What do you think? It's okay. It's not too bad. I think the can example was probably more difficult in the class. Oh my goodness. That's some weirdo Luke out. Actually, hang on. Let me just pause the recording here before I start dishing Luke.